Good morning, friends and fellow traders. This is Doug Campbell with Right Way Options, coming to you with a morning market preparation video for April 9th, 2018. What an ugly Friday we had. I had suggested that we should be careful on Friday just simply because the market was looking, when we get this kind of political spin, anything is possible. And Friday morning, the market was looking very suspicious. And ahead of a weekend, traders will tend to protect themselves a little bit more than normal. And that created a pretty ugly sell-off here, folks. I wrote a morning. Every morning I write a note, a morning blog post, and if you want to read that, where I talk about this kind of thing specifically, look in the description below. You will find the link that'll take you directly to that blog post. And folks, if this is the first time you've seen this information, please do me a favor. Click on that subscribe button on YouTube and the follow me button on Facebook. Click those thumbs up buttons if you find this video is worthy, and always feel free to be able to share this video with any friends and family. Now, I believe preparation is more important than luck, and I believe that if you take an unbiased look at the markets every morning, it helps set your tone for the day, the place where you're going to be. And when I look at this market, and I've said this for some time now, and I get heavily criticized by a few people over this, because when I have no edge in the market, I want to do more standing aside than trading. That means I want to protect my capital. And when I see whips of this nature, I realize I really have no edge in this market. Because when we can move 150, 200 points in an overnight session, whipping back and forth, and you can see that's what we've been experiencing here. Extreme back and forth whips, extreme gaps. And that's really the nature of political volatility, because it swings about as quickly as the next news report or that next tweet comes out, and there's really not much we can do about it. Now, if it happens intraday, of course, we can try to manage that. But when it happens during the overnight session and we get that complete reversal, it makes for very, very difficult trading. And if you're finding your accounts being chopped to pieces during this time, okay, it's time to accept that responsibility and say, look, I don't have an edge here. I need to stop fighting the market and wait until my edge returns. So that little comment, please read the blog post if you get a chance for further information on that. Now, on Friday, it's nice that we held above the 200-day moving average. All four of the indexes stayed above the 200-day moving average. Even though the SPY at one point had dipped below, we ended up rallying to hold above that 200-day average, which was nice to see. But we also have to take a look at the pattern that's here. And if we look at this pattern, this is a bearish pattern. It's called an evening star. And that evening star pattern right at price resistance and right at the downtrend line actually creates another lower high. Now, this morning we're looking at the futures gapping up, and if we look at the diamonds, we're getting a big gap up this morning. And I know there's going to be a lot of folks thinking, hey, this is finally the bottom, and it may be. But are you willing to risk more money on the fact that we could get another tweet or anything that could whip us back down? Remember, there's a lot of time here. Trading is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And you don't have to trade every day to be successful. So wait until you have that edge in the market. And right now, I just honestly don't see much edge for swing traders. Now, for very, very quick day traders, there's lots of reason. in here to just be loving this market. But as the standard swing trader, this becomes a very, very difficult place to be. And once again, if you're feeling like you're fighting the market, you probably are, and it's time to stand back and wait. Don't destroy your account. It was a hard lesson for me to learn, and I can tell you it was a very painful and costly lesson for me to learn, to realize there's times when it's just better to wait, to stand aside, wait for your edge return. I cannot control overnight gaps. I cannot control these big swings, in the morning gap, and nor can you, nor can anyone. So you have to determine where your edge is and trade when you have that edge. Let's take a quick look at the VIX. The VIX just really hanging on here, hanging around this 50-day moving average on the VIX, showing volatility. We try to sink away, bounces right back. My guess is the gap up this morning is going to move this back lower, back down here to test this 50-day moving average. Keep in mind that we're still holding above this price support, and we honestly have a pattern here that looks relatively bullish. So be careful, because the volatility is likely to continue for at least a period of time. Let's take a look at T21.22. T21.22 is the 4-week new high, new low ratio. I plotted with just a simple line chart, and you can see, we've gone from a bullish reversal zone in just a couple of days all the way up to the bearish reversal zone, and in 1-day move coming very, very close back down here to the bullish reversal zone. So, as we bounce back and forth in here, we have to accept some responsibility in the fact of our decisions to pull a trigger, are our decisions to make. Our decisions to be in this kind of volatility is our decision to make, and we have control. We can't blame this on anyone else if we're losing money here. We have to take that responsibility ourselves and decide when it's time to stand back, or if you want to be in this market, I suggest you be very, very careful, trade small, and add into that position if it starts working. Just be really, really careful, because an intraday reversal or complete whipsaw is still very possible. Okay, let's take a look at the Qs here really quick. You can see the Qs also show that evening star pattern right at price resistance and downtrend, and IWM also displaying that pattern at price resistance and in a downtrend. So be cautious, be careful. I got to tell you, I've been cautiously optimistic that we would find support here at the 200-day moving average, but the longer we sit here with this wild volatility, I got to be honest with you, my confidence that we're going to hold this is starting to slip, and I fear we could see more sell-off in the market. I could be absolutely wrong, and I'm not trying to predict that, because with this whip, we could easily whip higher, but be really careful. The possibility does exist, and you need to consider the kind of risk that you're taking in a market like this. Let's take a quick look at the economic calendar. The economic calendar is pretty clear today. This starting off the second week of this month with little or nothing going on here on the economic calendar. Certainly nothing in the way of market moving reports. Keep in mind, we do have the FOMC minutes on Wednesday, so it's not uncommon for the market to just remain very choppy while it waits for that news. kind of keep that in mind. On the earnings calendar, there were just over 30 companies reporting earnings today, and those are coming in right now. I don't see any of the what I would consider big market moving reports, but if you are trading, make sure you're checking those earnings reports because it's so easy to get caught in an earnings event. Make sure you're checking those for any company you're about to buy or are currently in to make sure you're not getting caught by that. Have a plan around an earnings event. Everyone, I want to wish you a fantastic day. I hope you have great profits today. If there's anything that I can ever do to help, please feel free to drop a comment on these videos. I do try to answer as many as I possibly can. My passion is to help other traders be successful in trading. It took me a long time to reach this point where I've been able to trade now for I'm going on 14 years as a full-time trader. And I got to tell you, it's worth the effort, but there are a lot of challenges along the way. And if you find this helpful, please, drop a comment and let me know. I really do appreciate it. Everyone, take care. Have an awesome, awesome day. I will talk to you all very soon, bright and early Tuesday morning. Take care, everyone.